from the WDWL TV multiplex, live from the World News Studio. We proudly present the pride of the station, the Two Grumpies, starring the grumpy old man, me, and the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take your bow? Come up and take your bow. Very nice, very nice. Back in your corner now. Yeah, the camera will see you, Jay. Every night you ask the same fucking question. The camera can see your dumb ass. I'm really considering that crow as a sidekick. There. Part of your cage is falling down here. Greetings, friends. It's been a cold one here in Cleveland. Holy yucca-fuck. 16 degrees. Although, I gotta tell you, this shitbox amazes me. Now, yesterday, my ass was too lazy to go out there in the cold and started to at least run it. Today, I went out. I had to run to the store. Turn on the ignition, and bingo! That sucker fired right up without as much as a groan. I'll tell you what, it's sad that every time I shut the door, another piece of the body falls off that goddamn truck. It just, the engine just runs as sweet as can be. Clutch is A1. I wish I could do something to save it, but it's too far gone. One of these days I'll be sitting on a frame on a milk crate. Okay. For all you doubters out there, the Netbook is here. And for you people that are like, Gateway, see if I can get the camera to zoom in close enough to read it. What does it say right at the bottom of the screen? Gateway. Yes. The baby laptop. The baby laptop. 2 weeks after I bought this, Gateway closed. I still haven't researched whether they got bought out or they just went under, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was so impressed with this little toy because at the time, here, I'll show you how old this thing is. At the time, 3G was just coming into effect. Yeah, now we're at 5G. 3G. This thing originally ran on 2G, but you could boost it. There's a button up here you push, and you can get 3G. That's how old this fucking thing is. And I'll tell you what, still works like the day I bought it. But yes, the Gateway Netbook. As you can see, my favorite NGK spark plugs. I put them in all my vehicles. Of course, I'm a GoPro owner. And one of my favorite crime programs on YouTube, Crime Talk. I love this little thing. Like I say, what I mainly use it for is when I do a tune-up, I have, which I couldn't find, I'm still looking for it, an endoscope that is basically made. Believe me, it's not medical quality, folks. But it's tiny, and what I would do, I'd pull out a spark plug and put the endoscope down inside the cylinder and check the top of my pistons, and or if you got to work up underneath the dash, and it's always a bitch. Take the endoscope up, watch the screen. Oh, and I used to take this to my doctor's office, hook it to Wi-Fi, go through websites and so on. Even my pain management doctor thinks this thing is cute. Every now and then he'll ask me, "You still got that little net thing?" Yeah, the Netbook, the Gateway Netbook. Like I say, I bought it. I was so impressed with the quality. I was like, I'm going to go buy a Gateway computer. Because I was looking for another computer. I pull into the parking lot, go to get out of the car. I look at, there's a sign on the side door that says closed. I said, oh, okay, side door's closed. Walk around the front of the store, big, huge sign, going out of business, closed. I was like, holy shit. So at least I got one Gateway item. And now, I wish I would have saved the box. Because when I tell people, Gateway's thing was their boxes looked like the side of cows. It had the black and white pattern you see on a cow. That was their gimmick. I don't know what Gateway and cows had in common, but yeah. 2 weeks after I bought the netbook, closed. Had I known that in advance, I could have maybe beat the guy down on the price of the netbook and said, hey, you're closing anyway. Come on, give me a break. Although I did get a good deal on it. But I finally brought it in. I told you I was going to bring it. So, there it is. And today, I received a gift from one of my subscribers, and it's someone that knows me quite well. They sent me these great canvas pouches, mainly because they knew my favorite beer is Heineken. And I'll tell you what, these are nice soft canvas pouches, nice zipper top. They'll hold quite a bit. And I got 4 of them. Yahoo! So, you know who you are if you're watching. Thank you very much. I really appreciate them. Plus, it matches my 2 Heineken insulated mugs. My big 30-ouncer and then my 20-ouncer. Yeah. Oh, I should own stock with the money I used to spend on Heineken. Oh, back in the 70s and 80s. Holy yetchafuck. Yeah. I had a refrigerator in the garage. It was always full, and I mean full. Yeah, Grumpy used to imbibe quite heavily back in the day. And I was the only one in the neighborhood that drank the expensive beer. There were 5 of us that would pretty nightly imbibe, I'd be drinking my Heineken, and my neighbor across the street, Greg, he was a riot. He drank Goebel. I don't know if they still make it. But to make it sound like an expensive beer like Heineken, he used to say, "Oh, I have my Jobel." Yeah, Goebel. Greg drank Goebel. George drank, at the time, Carling's, because Carling's was still around. No, George drank Miller High Life, the champagne of bottled beer. Yeah, George drank Miller. I had my Heineken. Greg had his Jobel. George drank Miller. Jack drank whatever was on sale. And I'm trying to think what Tom drank. I want to say Hams, although he was another one. He wasn't as loyal to one beer like I was. Hams, or what are those ones that used to look like a little short barrel? The bottle looked like a barrel. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Came in little barrel bottles. Every now and then he'd have Genesee, whatever was on sale. Occasionally Stroh's. God, there's a beer my uncle drank. And I mean my uncle by the case, Stroh's. And it was a riot, because we would go out and visit my uncle. He had a 40-acre farm out in North Ridgeville, Columbia Station. And we would go out to visit. And out of every beer made, my father hated Stroh's. And it would really be hilarious to watch the look on my face, because we'd sit down in the living room. Usually it was Sunday, ball game was on, baseball, football, whatever game was on. And my uncle would look over to my father and say, "Yeah, you want a beer?" And my father would be like, yeah, I guess so. And every time he'd take a drink of that Stroh's, if somebody was looking at him, he'd be like, oh, he hated that beer. But for free, he drank it. And I made the comment one time. I said, if you hate Stroh's that much, why don't you bring your own beer? We're going out there. That's all Uncle Joe drinks is Stroh's. I never did get an answer. I think because it was free, But yeah, my father hated Stroh's, and that's all Uncle Joe drank was Stroh's beer. And bought it by the case. And that was in the day of the heavy cardboard cases and the long neck bottles that were returnable. So Uncle Joe always kept an eye on the empties, because heaven forbid somebody would break, one bottle. Then he'd get screwed on the return price of the case. Yes, you younger ones, back in the day, we had returnable bottles, not throwaway. almost every bottle was returnable back in the day. And me and my buddy used to collect them because you would get like a penny. I think you got a penny for a regular long neck and a nickel if somebody threw out a quart bottle, because you used to be able to buy them in quarts. And there was a woods, a big field before the freeway was built. And people would go back there and they drink and they just leave their bottles. And we made it a thing after school every night to search the woods for bottles. And then if they were muddy or dirty, you'd have to take them home and wash them because the store wouldn't take them back if they were dirty. But that's how we made spending money. We collected pop bottles and beer bottles. But yeah, every bottle back in the day was returnable. And that was before the plastic ones. Yes, Grumpy saw the inception of beverages in plastic bottles because the FDA had not approved plastic for beverages. Everything came in bottles back in the day. Glass. You talk about, being a pain in the ass because everything was glass. And God forbid you would drop a bottle, But yeah. Now, bottles, like if you bought juice in a bottle, those bottles you got in the grocery store were not returnable. Like grapefruit juice or orange juice, But pop bottles, beer bottles, yes, they were all returnables back in the day. The early form of recycling, basically before the word recycling was even invented. Yeah, we recycled back in the day, not like today. As a matter of fact, Grumpy saw the inception of throwaway bottles. Yeah, we used to have throwaway beer bottles, throwaway pop bottles, and then it went to plastic. And Grumpy saw the inception of the aluminum beer bottle. I think Budweiser is really the only one using the aluminum. We call them can bottles. Yeah, it looks like a beer bottle, but it's all aluminum. I'm pretty sure they're the only ones that use them. Although I don't pay attention because Grumpy can't imbibe in them alcoholic beverages anymore. Every now and then I'll sneak a Heineken. But with the medication I'm on, my doctor's like, whoa, you could take a good trip mixing it with alcohol. So I make sure if I have a Heineken, I one, which is a killer. But one. As a matter of fact, I can make a 6-pack last a month. That's how often I drink. But I will drink one, and as much as I want to drink 2 or 3, I can milk, believe me, a bottle of Heinekens. Yeah. you take one of them little half sips, you you hold it in your mouth before you swallow. Yeah. I happened to slip one day. I was in my pain management doctor's office, and I said to him, I said, gee, I can't believe the price of beer nowadays. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. I can remember when I would pay $3.99 a six-pack for Heineken. I says, now I'm paying $9.99. He looked at me and went, what? I was like, ugh. I said, I had a taste for a beer. Well, you could end up in the hospital. I was like, hey, I'm not slamming a six-pack, Doc. I will have one, and I will milk the shit out of it. I can make one last like 2 hours. Maybe 3 if I'm really... Yeah, that's the hard part. Because Grumpy used to put the Heineken away. Like I say, I should own stock in that goddamn company. Because I put some Heineken away back in the day. What's wrong with the tablet here? Okay. Thing's a pain in the ass. Although I shouldn't complain, it's like 13, 14 years old, so it's still going strong. One of these days, Grumpy's lazy ass will actually transfer the music over to the new tablet. Hey, let me bump up the light here. There, better. Kind of scary. We're almost. I kind of spoke out of turn yesterday. The other two, well, the one studio and the surprise room are not done yet. They're close. As a matter of fact, the CEO told me today they have room in the multiplex for one more studio. This building has like 18 goddamn studios in it. I said, you're going to build another one? He said, well, we got room for one more. Why waste the space in the complex? I was like, your money, not mine. So, we have the secret room, whatever it is, the one that is walled off with plywood, and then 2 more studios, and then we're done. The one studio is almost finished, and they've started construction on the last. So the multiplex will be like 20 goddamn studios in this old warehouse. It's what it was. I think it was a plane hangar at one time. But yeah. And out of the 20 studios, we only use like 4 or 5. The CEO leases the other ones out. There are some streaming services, and I don't know all what's in this building, but it's the WDWL TV multiplex, but it has studios for other companies, which I'm not allowed to say who they are. So The secret room is almost done. Whatever that's going to be. And then Studio 19 is just about finished. And Studio 20 is under construction. Now I really got to take a trip through the multiplex and find out where all the hell these studios are. Especially where are they going to cram this Studio 20? But I guess whatever money the CEO can squeeze out of this old plane hangar or whatever the hell it was, he'll squeeze every penny out. Like I say, we actually only use, I think it'll be 6 studios. Out of the 20, we only will have 6. The rest of them are all leased out. And it's really odd. I never see. You would think you would see somebody, that you would recognize. I know we don't have the home shopping network in here. I see men and women in the halls. Suits, ties, dresses, I don't know if they're our employees or somebody else's employees. All I know is there are people coming and going in this place. One of these days I'm going to have to go studio by studio, just mainly for my own inquisitiveness, to find out who is in this building. Now I know I could guarantee it's not, Netflix and Disney or Yoo-Hoo or Bean Croc. God, they got more goddamn streaming services today than China's got rice. All I know is all of our programming is free. Yeah. I think that's why the other 14 studios are leased out, because we can't get any money for our programs. Like I said to the CEO, you think somebody'd pay to watch me? Holy shit. I very rarely, I look at the analytics. Very few times do viewers watch the whole hour that I'm here. I average, I think the last time I looked at the analytics, 18 and a half minutes. And they're like, oh, we had enough of this asshole. Click. Yeah, it's sad to look at my analytics. It really is. It's even sadder to look at my monthly views per night. Sometimes I'm lucky to get 3. I'm like, okay. Like right now. I don't know if I'm talking to people or just talking to the camera. YouTube worldwide. Now I do know, at least once, someone in London watched, because he left a comment on my faceplant page that said, "You have a really strange sense of humor. Have you ever looked at British humor? There is strange humor." And then he has the nerve to tell me I have a strange sense of humor. But I knew someone across the pond watched Grumpy once. Well, he could be watching a couple of times. He just don't leave comments anymore. Oh, and I did get a comment once from a viewer in New Zealand. I almost fell out of this chair. I was like, New Zealand? Shit, you mean to tell me they actually get internet in New Zealand? Now I pissed him off, you know. But yeah, I had a viewer from New Zealand. I can't remember what comment he left. As a matter of fact, whatever he commented, I used it. He suggested something and I used it. I didn't use it on a regular basis. But I did. Oh, yeah. I should be putting hash in my title. Or hashtag stuff. I don't know. Hashtag corned beef hash. I should be putting something in the title to gain viewers. Like a code word, you know. I tried it a couple of times. I didn't get any more viewers, so I stopped doing it. But yeah, he told me to tag some hash in my title, so I tried it. I'm lucky I can type a sentence, let alone all this hashtag, put some hash, corned beef hash, roast beef hash, yeah. And hey, Ned Flanders, if you're watching, shalom, buddy. Yeah, I have a new, I believe he's my newest subscriber. I'm pretty sure he's 53. So if you're watching, buddy, if I could figure out how to have a guest on the stream, I'd have you on with me. But I'm lucky to put up the stream. That's why I basically ask people to put me on their stream. Well, that and, you know, to expand my subscribers. You know, get on a channel that is in the thousands of subscribers, not hundreds. That way, if I come up on a panel on someone else's channel, maybe somebody will go, hey, I think I'll subscribe to that asshole. Then again, maybe not. It was to kind of broaden my viewership. Oh yeah, Grumpy went begging, yeah. Everybody that I followed, I sent them an email and said, can I come up on your stream some night? So far, no. Yeah, I think I sent like 20 emails that day. Everybody I followed, I said, can I come up on your stream? One actually said they'd consider it. I'll think about it. That was like a month ago. Must be a slow thinker. Then one day maybe I'll get an invite. Come on up. And I'll be like, oh shit. But yeah, I was kind of hoping I would get some what they call a link. Somebody would send me a link to join their stream, you know. So far, no links. No links, no chain, nothing. Oh well. I do know I have 2 loyal followers that watch me almost every night. And you two know who you are. And I appreciate it because at least I'm not talking to myself. But like I said once before, even if I'm talking to myself and nobody is watching, I'm enjoying being on YouTube because back in the day, I tried to be a disc jockey. And all it got me was being screwed out of $1,000 by the Wixie School of Broadcast Technique. Yeah. See, where I worked, Wixie, 1260 AM at the time, was 3 floors up. And I had met several of the disc jockeys. And then I found out that they were starting a broadcast school. And at the end of the school, you got your FCC certification to be a disc jockey, like a license. So Grumpy borrowed $1,000, and about halfway through the school, we got shut down because the school wasn't certified as a school. You think we got a refund? No. So everybody that signed up got screwed. Now, a few, they sued, and I don't know. I just figured that's the start of Grumpy's future. I'm going to get screwed over. And, you know, back in 1970, $1,000 was big money. Like $10,000 today. And to lose that kind of money, and then on top of it, take out a loan? Yeah. I went to the credit union. And they said, "You're going to do what?" I said, "Well, I'm going to disc jockey school." "Well, here, you sign here. You're responsible for the fucking payments, pal." And what was really bad was I put up my car as collateral. So if I didn't make the payments, they'd take my fucking car. So every month, I made that goddamn payment. And what did I have to show for it? A stack of receipts that I made the goddamn payment. And at the end, loan paid. And somebody made off with my money. Yeah, figure it out, people. In 1970, actually it was 71, I took out a loan for $1,000 when cars were basically like $3,500. You know, Cadillac would be like $4,800. That was big money to lose. Yeah, I think a Mustang was like $1,500, $1,600. Your average four-door family sedan was about $2,550, somewhere in that range. But that was big money. People weren't making that much. I think I was making a dollar an hour, maybe $1.10. Yeah, I mentioned that to kids today. Yeah, my first job, I was making like $1.10 an hour. And they're like, what? Yeah. I look at wages today and I'm like, holy yacha fuck. No wonder everything's so fucking expensive. Yeah. That 15-cent cheeseburger that I used to buy at McDonald's in 1970 is like $3 today. And the cheeseburger shrunk in size. Like I told a story. I had a taste, and this was a couple of years back. I had a taste for filet of fish. McDonald's, oh my God, they had the best filet of fish, and I think to this day, I think their tartar sauce is the best. So I went in and I ordered 2 filet of fish sandwiches. Now to tell you how big the filet used to be. It would be topped with a whole slice of cheese. Okay? The filet is so fucking small, it's topped now with half a slice of cheese. I opened that container and went, I said, Miss, I think I got the kitty sandwich. She looked in the container and said, no, that's, you ordered a filet. It looked like a kitty burger or a kitty filet. And the price was shit. What the hell was a goddamn sandwich? $2.50? $3? I was like, holy shit. Matter of fact, one of these days, I'm going to go buy a Whopper just to see if the Whopper is still the same size. I bet you that's shrunk too. There were 2 sandwiches at McDonald's that I used to, well, back in the day, we had what they called a McDLT. Okay? It was a quarter pounder, and it came in 2 sections. You had what they called the hot side's hot and the cold side's cold. And the lettuce and tomato came separate. So you would get the sandwich, and you would take the bun off. You would put your lettuce and tomato on. Yeah, a McDLT. That's what it stood for. Quarter pounder, basically, with lettuce and tomato. I loved that sandwich. It didn't go over so well, and they took it off the market. I used to see people ordering it all the time. And the commercial was, keeps the hot side, yeah. Because it was a 2-sided container. Keeps the hot side hot and the cold side cold. And you made your own. Maybe the container got to be too expensive. I don't know. But yeah, you would literally build your burger. They did away with it. Then they had the McRib. It was a boneless, supposed to be. Ugh. I don't know what part of the pig that they got that, but it sure as hell wasn't from the ribs that I knew of, because when I would eat ribs, believe me, they would be super tasty. The McRib tasted like ground cardboard with barbecue sauce on it. And then every now and then they bring it back. Why don't you bring back the McDLT? You're charging enough for your goddamn sandwich. You can afford that fancy container again. Hot side hot, cold side cold. I've written to McDonald's every now and then. I say, hey, why don't you bring back the McDLT? Never got a response. Although McDonald's could give a shit, whether you complain or... Yeah, you could get a quarter pounder with or without cheese and your lettuce and tomato on the side. It was a great sandwich. You can't get lettuce and tomato on a quarter pounder today. It was a neat gimmick. Nope. Did away with it. Now, I used to like their quarter pounders. But I haven't been in McDonald's in ages because it's too fucking expensive. Another sandwich I used to love was a Big Mac. Because it was similar to a Manners Big Boy. That's where McDonald's got the idea. They're like, oh, no, we didn't copy Big Boy. Yes, you did. You just modified it a little bit. I used to know the 2 all-beef patties, lettuce sauce, 2 all-beef patties, lettuce sauce, onions, 2 all-beef patties, lettuce sauce, onion, pickle. God, I can't remember it. I know it was on a sesame seed bun. 2 all-beef patties, lettuce sauce, special cheese. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Yeah. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I think that's the way it went. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I'll have to check. My buddy owns McDonald's. He owns 2 of them. I'll have to ask him. What is the real slogan? I want to say it's the 2 all-beef patties, lettuce, cheese, or 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I think that's the... I could have it screwed up somewhere, but that used to be the commercial. I used to love Big Macs. Now the patty is about the size of a silver dollar and about as thick. Everything is shrinking. Like I had a taste for Klondike bars. I used to love Klondike bars. I mean, a Klondike bar used to be about that thick and about that square. So I had a coupon, like $1 off or $2 off. So I bought Klondike bars. I opened it up and I was like, oh, fuck, the goddamn thing melted. No, it was only that thick. It used to be that thick. And it was, I said, no more of them. Even on sale, they're too fucking expensive. And ice cream containers. They have slowly shrunk them over the years. Like Breyers. Although they're all the containers, and they did it gradually. The containers slowly shrunk because it went from like 16 ounces to 12 or something. Yeah. You didn't really notice the container shrinking. And unless like somebody like me that went to buy one day that hadn't bought them in years and went, Jesus Christ, is this small? Yeah. That's like my cat's Friskies dry food. Now the bag is the same size. Okay? But back in 1970, that bag was 5 pounds. Now it's 3.15 pounds, but in the same bag. It looks good on the shelf. I tell people, I said, this bag used to be 5 goddamn pounds and half the price. Now it's 3.15 pounds and $4 and change. Yeah. Purina is the only one that left the bag the same size. And over the years, the ingredients have been shrinking. But I remember when that bag was a 5-pound bag. Yeah. That's how we're getting screwed, people. You got quite a bit more back in the 70s. Now you're paying twice the price and you get less. Take a look at containers. Although you got to be fucking old. Containers that were 16 ounces are now 14 ounces. And if you look at recipes, they had to adjust all of the ingredients because everything has shrunk. Yeah, take a look at a recipe from the 70s and the same recipe today. And it'll say, like 1 16-ounce can of such and such. And today it's a 1 14-ounce can. But did the price shrink? Fuck no. It's like a friend of mine said, I couldn't believe it. I was in the store the other day. A dozen eggs, $5.29. I was like, what? Well, then I read the goddamn avian flu is killing off the fucking chicken so fast, we're running into an egg shortage. So what did they do? They jacked the price. Yeah. $5.29 for a dozen eggs. I remember when eggs were 75 cents a dozen. Yeah. $5.29. I remember when a can of soup used to be $0.25. Not today. Loaf of bread was like 65 cents. Not today. Sandwiches used to be a very inexpensive meal. Now, loaf of bread, $4. Pound of lunch meat, $6. Jar of mayonnaise, $4.85. Pound of cheese, $4 to $5.99 a pound. I don't see how people with a multitude of kids can afford to make lunches for them every day, let alone feed them at night. I mentioned the other day, grilled cheese sandwiches used to be grilled cheese sandwich and a bowl of tomato soup. Used to be a hell of a meal for a kid. I loved it. I used to dip my goddamn grilled cheese in the tomato soup. Peanut butter and jelly was the cheapest filler you could get. If a kid was hungry, you made him a peanut butter and jelly because the peanut butter filled you up. Now, goddamn jar of peanut butter, $4.89. Jar of jelly, almost the same price. Loaf of bread, anywhere from $3.50 to $5, depending on the bread. It was like the store the other day. I saw Wonder Buns. Now, I haven't seen Wonder Bread in ages, but they had hot dog and hamburger buns. Wonder. I was like, oh, gee, I haven't had Wonder in years. I'll get a pack. $3.89. I went around the other side of the counter. Nichols buns, 2 for $5. I was like, okay, these will work. They're bread, same, no difference. Different package. That's all. Different name on the buns, they're the same. If I swapped them, if I took the Nichols buns out and put them in the Wonder Bread, you wouldn't know the difference. Except for the price. I remember when milk was like 75 cents a gallon. A bottle of pop was like 15 cents. It is sad to look at prices. And what's even sadder is to look at my monthly Social Security check. I'm living at poverty level. Work all your life to retire. Pay that Social Security. Retire on Social Security. You have to get a job. Can't afford to retire. Although Grumpy is not getting a job. My doctor'd kill me. Yeah, I have medical problems that sort of prevent me from a part-time job. But it's sad that seniors today literally can't retire. Social Security is looking like raising the retirement age to 72. I know a shitload of seniors that retired for like a year and then went back to work because they couldn't afford to retire. That is a sad state we are in today, where you look forward to what they call your golden years and not be able to live on what you get. Most of my retired friends are unretired. Most of them are working part-time jobs. Matter of fact, one works, she opens at McDonald's in the morning. Now, she loves her job, but she was retired for like 2 years. And she said to me, she goes, I have to get a part-time job. I can't afford to be retired. I said, sweetheart, I know what you're talking about. And everything keeps going up and up and up. And then our future president wants to invent external, what is he calling it? The External Revenue Service. And basically it's fucking tariffs on everything under the sun. Oh, I'm gonna charge all these countries, to import their goods here. Yeah, the External Revenue Service. I looked at the article and I was like, oh, I don't need to read this. Anything to jack the prices up and piss off other countries. That's almost as bad as he thinks Canada's going to be the 51st state. Oh, yeah. I don't see Canadians voting on that one. Yeah. He wants to stitch another star on the flag. State number 51, Canada. Talk about a state that'd be bigger than fucking Texas. Holy yatchafuck. Texas couldn't brag about being the largest state anymore. Yeah. The only good thing is you wouldn't need a passport to go to Canada anymore. That and what, Greenland? He wants Greenland too. I'm pretty sure it's Greenland. Yeah, you think, well, I don't know if Trudeau retired yet or not. He was supposed to be resigning, but you think Trudeau is going to sit down with our future president and go, oh yeah, we'll become the 51st state. Where do I sign? And that's like, what is it, Quebec? We call it Quebec. They call it Quebec. Then people ain't learning English for nobody. It's the one province up in Canada where most of the signs are in French, not English. And if you don't know French, even though they know some English, they won't fucking talk to you. I know I have a niece that lives up, well, she don't live in Quebec, but she said, yeah, they had visited Quebec. And she said, you know them people understand English. There ain't no way they're speaking English in that province. Yeah, they're like their own little world up there. As soon as you enter Quebec, all the road signs are in French. As a matter of fact, most of the signs in everything's in French up there. Canada is not about to become State 51. No way. He can dream. It ain't happening. I don't care how he tries to convince him. There ain't no way. First of all, you think old King Charles is going to sign off on that and go, oh, yeah, we'll let you have Canada, sure. Although maybe England wants to get rid of Canada. Because basically, King Charles is over Canada and Australia. Although they're so far down, I don't think King Charles worries too much about them. Although maybe our future president would want them to become State 52. Yeah, Australia. I don't see Canada becoming 51. I really, he can dream all he wants. I don't think them people are going to go, oh, yeah, sure, no, okay. They're real strict about things up there. I know one thing. They got some real strict gun laws up in Canada. Old Joe Blow just can't go to the store and purchase one. No. There's some other things they're pretty strict about up there too, but I don't see them. I don't see the whole country of Canada sitting down taking a vote going, yes, we want to be U.S. citizens. I'll probably catch hell for getting political, but I don't see it happening. He's got about as much chance of convincing Canada as he does convincing Australia. Although maybe King Charles would go for it, say, hey, sure, I'll give old Trudeau a call and tell him, hey, I'm signing off on the deal. Learn English. Although that would be interesting. One big giant state. Texas would be like, damn it, we used to be the largest state in the Union. Now them goofy people up there are, be our luck we'd all be going, eh? Although I really like the real hardy Canadians. You know, everything is like, how's the weather, eh? How's that new car of yours, eh? Yeah, everything got A. Now the younger generation, they don't go for that A stuff. But the real hardcore Canadians still talk like that. I like that. Maybe I should start that way, eh? I think it's time to play our outro, eh? Oh, Grumpy sounds goofy saying that. All right, let's see if we can get the outro without the damn intro music playing. I hate that. I don't know why it does that. Oh, jeez. We're going from bad to worse. Come on, outro. There we go. Yes, we know where and when. Right here. We'll meet again tomorrow night. Maybe in a new studio tomorrow night. Or, I kind of like this one, but they ain't gonna let me have this one. No. The CEO keeps telling me I'm giving the station a bad name using this studio. And with that, God, this tablet's doing fireworks down here. And I gotta find my clicker. Where is it? I lost it. And with that, friends, Grumpy and the bird will meet you again tomorrow night here at the WDWL TV multiplex. And with that, I bid you a wonderful evening. See ya. Why didn't my clicker work?